Alright, we're back again. Let's get into my Sega Genesis game collection for 2023, my friends. Now, Genesis isn't a system I grew up with, so I bought one later in life. I don't have a ton of games, and I actually haven't played that many different games on Genesis yet, but there are some that I have checked out. And there's, if you have any recommendations on the Genesis, please let me know. We're starting off with Aladdin. This is a game I did play a little bit growing up, but now having it complete on the Genesis, this was like the first game I bought when I got my Genesis, because I remember loving this game, because I think either I played this in the store or like a friend had this or something. I don't know, it was a long time ago, but man, this game holds up so well. Such a great game, and graphically, just you're not going to get better than this on the Genesis. Beautiful looking game. So Aladdin there, great side scroller. Next we have another side scroller. This is a Bram Stoker's Dracula for the Genesis. No manual with this, but you got the case and everything. This is a pretty good game, I guess. It's janky, it's pretty hard, but it's what do you want? It's an old Genesis game. I kind of like the atmosphere of this game. It had a charm to it, so we played that one a year or two ago on the channel. And next we have one of my favorite Genesis games probably right now, and that's Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. This is an awesome side scroller with just the perfect amount of, I guess, challenge to it. It's not too cheap, but not too easy either. So this is actually a reproduction case, so this isn't like a original case. It looks fantastic. So for this game, I bought the cart, so this is a real cart in the game, obviously. It was a pretty expensive game, and then I ended up just ordering a reproduction case so I have something to store it in. That's what I'm gonna do with some of my Genesis games that I don't have real cases for. I'm just gonna get a reproduction case and put them in there, especially for like the expensive ones that are maybe too expensive complete, or ones I kind of just want to play the game and need something to kind of just store and display it in. So yeah, it's a good alternative. It's very authentic looking. I have a few cases like this for other games, for other systems, for like digital games. So there's like a case to display on the shelf, and this looks really good. So they do a good job. Castle of Illusion. Next we have Clay Fighter. I just picked this one up. I found this complete in box in a little store, and I was very excited to see this. This is I love the we used to rent the one on N64, Clay Fighter 63 1/3. I need to buy that for my N64 actually, but so here's the original one. I don't know if I ever played this one, maybe. I don't remember if I did, but here it is on Sega Genesis. Excited to have that one complete. Next we have Clue. I haven't tried this one out, but this was a pretty cheap buy. Clue is actually one of my favorite board games. So there's a complete in-box copy of that. You can probably play that with some friends or against a computer. I don't know how this is going to work on a Sega Genesis, but I don't know, we'll see. Next we have Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball. So this one is a baseball game I actually did play when I was younger, but I had it on PC, because when we had like a computer for the first time, I was so excited and bought like a bunch of sports games for it or something. I think I had like an old FIFA, some old NBA Lives, and NHL 98, and I had this one, and I remember loving this game. So I found this actually in a store of like $6 complete in great condition, randomly. I wasn't looking for it. I was just like, oh my goodness, that's the game I used to have. So I immediately bought it, and it plays just like the one on the PC did. So the nostalgia hits good, and it's a pretty decent baseball game. Frank Thomas Big Hurt. Next we have probably the worst Genesis game I have, and that's Jurassic Park. Gosh, this game sucks. The level design, if you can call it that, is the most I don't know, ridiculous, convoluted piece of, I don't know, shit you've ever seen. Navigating the first level, I'd have an easier time of being dropped in the middle of the ocean and navigating my way to land than navigating through the first level of this game. I don't really know what to say. It's hilariously bad, I guess. That's the one thing you can say, is that it's so bad that it's funny. Half the time we're just stumbling around. Jurassic Park. There is a good Jurassic Park game on Super Nintendo. It plays a lot different. It's a completely different game from this one, so this is a bad one. But it's still kind of fun to have. Next we have Madden 97. I haven't tried this one yet. This was a couple dollars I bought from a game shop because I like these old sports games. Probably going to be pretty good. It comes with the manual and actually schedule of each team's for every team of that season in real football. So it's pretty cool, with the poster there. It's got all the goodies in there. So maybe we could do like a season or something in this. I don't know. Back in the day, I'm an Eagles fan, so I think Randall Cunningham's probably the quarterback in this game. Yeah, Madden 97, old football game. Next, we have a really good side scroller, Mickey Mania: The Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse. This is an awesome looking, another one of those amazingly graphic games, much like Aladdin, but this game is also extremely hard. Great game, but really hard. But definitely worth checking out. This is got the manual and stuff in there. Definitely glad I picked this one up because it kind of goes over a lot of like old Mickey films, Mickey and the Beanstalk, Steamboat Willie and all that kind of thing. Each level is kind of themed after one of those old shorts, so it's really, really well done. Such an interesting game. Definitely worth playing. Here is one of my favorites and one of my favorite arcade games ever, and that's Miss Pac-Man. For some reason, I like this better than regular Pac-Man. I couldn't tell you why, but I do. And this port holds up extremely well. This is such an awesome game. It makes me happy to have this at home, to just be able to throw this on anytime on my Genesis and just get that arcade experience. Like I'm at the arcades playing Miss Pac-Man. This is such an awesome game. It's simple. Obviously, it's Pac-Man, but it still holds up incredibly well. From all the complex games we have these days, you still gotta appreciate the classics, and this is one of them. Here we have an awesome hockey game, NHL 96. This game's great. Kind of arcade-like action in this one too. So this one I bought for myself later in life too, because actually my friend had a Genesis, and he had this game when we were kids. And I would go over his house and play this game. I remember us playing this game one day, like all day, to the point where his mom was like, "You guys need to go outside for a few hours and play some basketball." So we did. We went outside, played some basketball, came back inside, and fired this back up and played more of it. We had such a fun time playing this one. So just that one day memory alone is enough for me to want to have this game now. And it holds up so well. This game's really, really fun to play for classic hockey game. Not as good as NHL 98 or anything, but still good. Next we have Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon for the Sega Genesis, yes. So this is actually a custom-made edition of the game, because this was actually a Japanese release. So somebody made an edition on a real Genesis cart that translates the game to English. So everything was in Japanese. So now you can kind of like translate the game. It's a beat 'em up. One player beat 'em up though, where you pick one of the sailors and you go through, and it's a pretty good one. It's not like the most amazing beat 'em up, but it's if you like beat 'em up, it's certainly fun. They printed stickers and cards, and even had like a little manual and everything. It's so well done. Whether this is what the manual in the Japanese version is like, I'm not sure, but this plays on any Genesis. It's got a pink cart. I saw this and I jumped on it because it was the last one left in the shop, and they were selling it on sale on this. I was just randomly on like eBay one day looking at Genesis games, and I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get that. Sailor Moon beat 'em up. I don't ever even watch Sailor Moon either, but I love beat 'em up so much that I will play anything that's a beat 'em up. So I definitely jumped on this one, and it's pretty good. Next we have Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. When I got my Genesis, it was this and Aladdin, I believe, I picked up for it. So, you gotta have Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, I didn't grow up with these games. I didn't grow up playing this, so playing through it for the first time kind of recently. Gotta say, I enjoyed it. This is the not for resale version, whatever that entails. It doesn't change the way the game plays at all. It's just literally just says not for resale on it. But it doesn't have a manual. I don't really care too much about that. Yeah, just a classic game. You gotta love Sonic. Really good. And then Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I have not played yet. I got them both. I think I actually got them both on the same day, maybe. I can't remember. I know I got this for $10. This has the manual in there, though. I heard that this is the best one of the series. Everybody talks about this game being absolutely legendary. So I'll be excited to play this when we do. Like I said, the first game I liked, but I wouldn't say I fell in love with it. There's definitely some newer Sonic games that I like more, but hopefully this one lives up to the billing when I go to play that. Here's another one that I needed when I found out about this game. I don't know how I didn't even know about this game growing up, but that's Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist. Big fan of Turtles in Time, one of my favorite games of all time. But I never knew this game existed until like maybe 6 years ago or something. And I was like, wait a minute, there was a separate beat 'em up on the Genesis? So I have my Genesis. I went out and bought a copy of this game, just the cart. Because this was like a $60, $70 game, just the cart alone at the time. And I really just wanted to play it. And I love this game. It's so good. It's just like Turtles in Time. It's not as good because it's not as long. There's not as many levels or as many bosses. And you know, the levels aren't as great. Some of the levels are kind of like repetitive compared to like Turtles in Time, but still, you know, if you like Turtles in Time, you'll like this game because it's pretty much very similar gameplay. This is a reproduction case as well, much like Castle of Illusion. So I bought the game and then decided I definitely wanted a case for it to sit on the shelf a little bit easier with all the other Genesis games. So again, this looks pretty like for like, doesn't it? Pretty professional. It has that Genesis feel of the case. So, you know, the people that make these reproduction cases just do a fantastic job. I can't even remember because it was like a while ago when I bought those reproduction cases. I don't remember exactly who the seller was. I've been buying from another guy on eBay for digital game cases recently. 2 more games to show you guys. Like I said, not a big Genesis collection. Next we have Super WrestleMania, a decent wrestling game. Nothing to write home about, nothing like the ones on N64. The controls are kind of weird, but it's pretty fun. This, however, is an awesome wrestling game. WrestleMania, the arcade game from Acclaim. This is like a Mortal Kombat mixed with wrestling. It's like a fighting game with a wrestling game. It's got those digitized graphics, like superpower moves. It's so fun. It's just an arcade. It just screams arcade, you know, like you'd find this. I'm sure there were arcade machines of this. I think I played this in the arcade once. I can't remember, but I know I played. Did this have an arcade machine? It must have, huh? It must have. I think it did. I don't know. But just either way, just such a fun wrestling game. Definitely a blast to put on. I've tried out a lot of different characters and had a good time with it. Definitely, I did stream this one, so it is on the channel. And that is it. That's my entire Genesis collection. I said not much. It's going to be growing. I don't typically buy a lot of Genesis games because sometimes I don't even know what to buy. Because I have a list of games that I want to get. Some of them are pretty pricey though. But it's a system I definitely need to delve into more of the library, considering I didn't grow up with it. So I'm kind of just learning about the library and all it has to offer like these days. But definitely an awesome system. I enjoy playing the Genesis whenever I fire it up. I have a lot of fun on there. People on stream and you guys watching seem to enjoy it as well. Thank you for watching this, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Till next time, 0 is the number.